Hi, my name is Megan. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I'm a library assistant, and we are packing and prepping for a trip to Panama. So don't mind the disaster that is this room, because, you know, packing leads to everything just coming out. So first, I want to show you my suitcase. So this is my Samsonite. I could not tell you what kind. I could not tell you style, any of that. It's a black Samsonite. It expands. I do really like it though. It's held up really well. If you can see this, that's what happens when you have cats. So it likes to hang out in the closet. Whenever this thing comes out, the cats lose their mind because they love it. They love to sniff it. They love to scratch at it. Anyway, so we are leaving on a Monday. We are coming back on a Monday, but we won't actually be back in Fredericton until the Tuesday because we have to do a layover. So let's get ready. We're gonna pack today. Nails are tomorrow. Friday we've got to do some errands. We're gonna run to the mall, pick up some stuff. I need some water shoes. And then we need to get some more sunscreen, a tube of aloe. I think that's it. But I'm going to make a list as we go in case we're missing anything. So, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so today is Saturday, which means tomorrow is our last day before our trip, which is exciting. So I got my nails done. Very pretty. I wanted a light color to hopefully offset a nice tan. We'll see. And then yesterday we went to the mall and we picked up some water shoes. I don't know why that was so difficult to think of. Water shoes, some sunscreen. We have some aloe. I think we're gonna like decant it basically because it's in a pump, and obviously like I don't want to be carrying a pump product around with me because it's just so hard to travel with. Like they're just so annoying to like get it to lock and then unlock and all that stuff. So we have some travel containers, so I think we're going to decant it into those just to make it a little bit easier. Hopefully we don't have to use it anyway, but it's good just to have just in case. So I did that. I've got my books all in order. I'm bringing 5 books. So the 2 that I'm bringing that are physical are the rest of the Farseer trilogy. So I've got The Royal Assassin, which obviously I've already started a little bit on, and then The Assassin's Quest. So these are the last 2 books in the Farseer trilogy. And my coworker was nice enough to lend these to me, so I've got these to read. On my Kobo, we're gonna ignore how shitty of a cover this is, or shitty looking, I should say. It's well used. So for my Kobo, I have Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen, which is actually a reread for me. I borrowed it from the library years ago. Like I want to say I was like maybe 15, if that. So we're pushing maybe 20 years ago, which makes me feel so old. But yeah, like I read it a long time ago, and it's just one of those books that I've always kind of been like, oh, like I wish I could own it. I want to reread it. It was just a very cute book, and I just never bought it. So I found my library has it for ebook, so I was like, yep, we're gonna add this to the list. So it's a really cute book. It's basically like It's a contemporary book and it has magical elements. It's very practical magic-y, minus like that actual like witchcraft aspect, in the way that practical magic, like, they're witches, they perform spells, they like actively do that kind of thing, whereas in garden spells it's like you're in a small town, people from this family have these certain traits, these certain things happen to them, people from this family have these traits and these things happen to them. So it's kind of like that. So in this family, the one sister, it's two sisters, one sister is like a baker and she does catering and stuff, and it's like all these different like foods, well, like herbs and fruits and vegetables and stuff, like you use them if you want to do certain things, if you want to incite certain feelings, that kind of thing. And then there's another sister who's getting out of an abusive relationship and she has a daughter, and it's kind of like coming home and just like the relationship, how they move forward, all that kind of stuff. So it's super, super cute. Absolutely love it. Very cozy read. The other one is Long Shadow by Olivia Atwater. And it's the third book in, I can't remember the name of the actual trilogy, but Half a Soul is the first book. And I read that last year, beginning of last year actually. Loved it. Half a Soul is very much like Pride and Prejudice meets Howl's Moving Castle. Definitely has that kind of vibe. And I would say Howl's Moving Castle, the book, not necessarily Howl's Moving Castle, the movie, because they're two very different stories. So I read that, absolutely loved it. Very cozy vibes. This is actually the third book, and I haven't read the second book. It's on my hold shelf at the library for an ebook, and it's not in yet. But the way that they are, they're all like standalones, and they just are kind of like a collection of fairy tale stories almost. So I don't have a problem with reading this out of order. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm still in that kind of like cozy fantasy romantasy kind of era. Like I just finished Bookshops and Bone Dust. Loved it. Even better than Legends and Lattes, honestly, in my opinion. I think that a lot of the problems that people had with the first book are dealt with in the second book, in that it's less of that dialogue. Hello. It's less of the dialogue carrying the story, and there's more action that happens. So I think that people are happy with that. Anyway, so those are 4 books, and then I actually have an audiobook because we have a I think it's like 2.5 hour flight from Fredericton to Toronto, and then I don't know how long our layover is. It's a couple hours, I want to say, and then we have like a 5.5 hour flight from Toronto to Panama. I think it's called the Rio Hato Airport. Don't quote me on that. It's about 10 minutes away from our resort, which is nice. So I was like, I want an audiobook because I've kind of discovered audiobooks and like I'm getting into them. So the audiobook that I'm reading is When Things Are Set Right, and I can't remember the author off the top of my head, but it's kind of like this woman, she's dealing with some trauma from like just her past, small village, I should say. And she wants to kind of get out there. There's expectations of her. She doesn't want to fulfill those expectations. And so she ends up meeting, I guess, this ex-slave, and she kind of like takes him back to his people. I'm going to assume, I have started listening to this a little bit because it's like a 13-hour audiobook. And I'm going to assume he's a human because apparently she's a fairy or an elf. Sorry. I want to let people know because it doesn't say that on the synopsis, which really threw me. So the cover looks very Nordic, Viking, Scandinavian inspired. It's got like runic kind of lettering style. It has like the dragon head sort of thing on the cover. So it definitely like kind of styles itself as just having those kind of elements. And listening to it, I think it's very codified Irish. That's what I'm gonna say. Or at least the narrator is kind of coding it that way for this, from what I'm getting off of, because her name is, the main character's name is Erin, but it's like Aeryn. And if you don't know, Erin, Erin, is another name for Ireland. And so there's that, and also the accents that she uses when people speak is very Irish. And then obviously like when she's just narrating, it's just like a normal, I don't want to say normal because not everyone has this accent, but it's a very Canadian Americanized voice. So there's no Irish accent used during the narration. But yeah, so that's kind of like coding towards Irish influences, I want to say, and also like they're elves, and obviously there's like that kind of like race element in like elves are better than humans, and like differing, and like, we're so much better than them, we're so much more civilized, blah 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 blah. But the way that it's being done, and with the Irish influences, to me it's pulling berries, like Irish berries, like the seelie and unseelie and all that kind of thing. We'll see. I've literally listened to it for like maybe half an hour. I think I'm on chapter 3 or something like that. So we'll see. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. But yeah, I've got 5 books. I'm hoping to be able to finish at least my physical books. Hopefully the audiobook as well, because like our flights don't have in-flight entertainment aside from what you bring. There's no like screens or anything, which is fine. I usually like to just look out the window anyway. But that's why I have 5 books and an audiobook, and like I'm just wanting to make sure that I'm entertained and that I have the choices for entertainment. So yeah, so we're going to do this. I've got laundry going because I want to try to get as much stuff done before we leave as possible. I'm going to wash some dishes today. I think I'm going to actually like clean the house tomorrow, just because one less thing to do today. I'm going to pack shoes today. We have basically everything packed. The suitcase is currently living in our closet because if we left it out, the cats would be all over it. Peaches would be like scratching it. She'd be trying to climb it. And I don't want that. So we've got that. And then I think we're going to be using a duffel bag and a backpack as carry-ons. So we'll see. I might do like shoes and like certain things in the duffel bag, and then like obviously all of our entertainment in the backpack, because I think Andrew might be bringing his Switch. I'm not 100% sure, or his like DS, because that's usually his primary form of entertainment. He's not a huge reader, so that'll be what he brings. And then yeah, we both have like our headphones. Yeah, it's weird that it's like getting so close, and I'm like trying to think of like what needs to be done before we go, and I'm just like, oh my god, like we've got someone coming to like double check on the cats obviously while we're away. I'm gonna make sure that the plants are all watered so they don't need to worry about that. Garbage is all taken out and dealt with. But yeah, I'm excited. You can see Peaches up top. But yeah, so I'm gonna make sure everything is all packed up. And yeah, I think the biggest thing was just making sure I had water shoes, because I didn't, And especially when you're going somewhere and like there are stingrays and there are jellyfish and there are horses that poop on the beach, and water shoes help with all of that. And we're hopefully going to be doing like stand-up paddleboarding and kayaking. So those are things that it's just nice to have, because I guess it's not like super smooth the bottom of the ocean anyway. It's a little bit rockier, so it'll just be nicer, make me feel better. We're all bringing water shoes, so yeah. Let's finish packing up, and yeah. Oh, it's just so weird. I haven't been on like a vacation like this since 2015, and I can say that like I know exactly it, because 2015 was when I graduated from my undergrad, and I got a couple friends and I went on a trip to Greece. So that was like our huzzah trip, and I've done like a couple trips since, but it's been like within Canada to the States, like northernish borders, or northern states sort of things, so like Michigan, New York, all that, Maine, all that kind of stuff. So haven't done anything tropical in a hot minute, so I'm looking forward to just tanning, getting some nice color, relaxing. Oh my gosh. And I'm just so happy that like I finally have a job where I can do that, where I have vacation days. I can take the time off. I don't have to be worried about like if I take time off, it's eating into my paycheck. And yeah, I'm just so happy to finally be there. Anyway, let's get stuff done, okay?